So far in this lesson, we've been working with images that have been provided for you. So we used a piece of clip art that comes with Microsoft Office. We also worked with a digital photo that was provided to you in a folder in your exercise files. Well, now we're going to look at drawing your own. So that could be lines, for example, shapes, maybe arrows would come in handy, and that's what we're going to do next. So we're still working on our presentation from the previous lesson, Intro 7b, and what we're actually going to do is go to slide number 2. So give slide 2 a click. Now if you're jumping to this lesson, no problem. You'll go to the Office button up here. Then you're going to go down to Open. From the Lesson 7 folder of your exercise files, there it is, Intro 7c. Give that one a click and then Open. And of course, we'll go to slide 2. Okay, so in here we're going to do a little bit of drawing. Let's put some arrows between our shapes here, in between each of these rectangles and the main rectangle on the left. Well, we're going to go to the Home tab if you're not already there, and you'll see there is a drawing section here where we have shapes. So when we click on the shapes drop down, look at that. There's lots to choose from. There's lines. Now this line is a plain old line. Some of them have arrows on the ends. Some of them you can see bend or have elbows as they call it. Some of them are curved with arrows. And then there's even way over here a scribble or a freehand draw. Then we've got rectangles. Look at the basic shapes we have to choose from. There's the no sign and the happy face. This one will come in handy at Valentine's Day, for example. Then we've got block arrows. We've even got equation shapes, flowcharting shapes, stars and banners, even callouts if you're drawing cartoons, and some action buttons. So we've got lots to choose from here. Let's start simple. Let's just start with a simple arrow. We're going to do a double arrow here from our line section. Click the double arrow. And now down below, we're going to join these two. Now you can see when I hover over an image like this rectangle, I get these little red handles around the outside. That's because there's a lot of automation built into drawing now. For example, if I want to connect these two, and I want to go right from the border here, I can be close to the border of food products, click and hold my mouse button down, and watch what happens as I get close to the next rectangle. There's those red handles again, which means while it's highlighted like that, if I was to let go, it'll automatically be connected. So automatically, I don't have to fiddle around with the exact location of where I start and finish. I've drawn my double arrow and I know that it's touching each of the borders. I'll just deselect by clicking out here off to the side, and you can see it's drawn perfectly. Alright, let's click on it and let's hit the delete key on the keyboard. That removes a shape. And we'll go back to shapes now because there might be a better double arrow to choose from, and you can see down here we've got block arrows. So these might be better. Let's go over to this one, which is double arrow. It's got the left and the right with arrows on either side. And we'll do the same thing. We'll start over here at food products and we'll drag over to our box here on the left and release. Okay, so if we deselect by clicking out here, we can see what that looks like. Not much. You can't really tell that it's an arrow on either side. So we'll manipulate this shape. Now we'll click on it and we're going to fatten it up a little bit by clicking and dragging downwards, and we'll drag upwards as well. There, that looks like a double arrow. We might have to adjust its location, so we'll hit the up arrow on my keyboard. You can see how that just nudges it upwards a little bit. And I'm going to deselect by clicking out here. Now this is an actual shape, it's not a line, so there was no automated connection going on there. I had to be pretty accurate myself. If that looks good and you want it for the others, let's just click on it and we'll do a Control D. Control D on the keyboard is a shortcut for duplicate. And then we can just move this down where we want it and release. Do a Control D on the keyboard again. We've got another one, and you can see it automatically knows because it went from here to put another one down here. It's not perfect, so we'll just nudge it up with the keyboard. That looks good. We'll deselect out here to see what that looks like. Very nice. Okay, that's one kind of shape. Let's just go over to slide 3 now, where we've got some room to draw. And we're not necessarily going to do anything with this slide except play around a little bit with some other shapes. So we'll click on the shapes drop down. And let's just go down to, how about some of our basic shapes? I like this happy face guy, the smiley face. When you click, now you just have to click and drag. And when you let go, there's your finished shape. And you can see the color that it's being drawn in. It already knows what the color scheme is that I'm using for this particular theme down here. You can see on the status bar is median. And because I'm using that, my smiley face is colored kind of to go with the rest of the slides. Now I can make changes to that. Of course, if I wanted to, I could change the shape fill. Let's go up here and let's go down to yellow, for example. Looks familiar. Let's go to the shape outline. We'll click on it. Let's go to a black. As we hover over it, you can see what happens. So we'll click on that. Let's go back up to our shape outline and let's go down to weight. We'll make it a little thicker. Now as we hover over these lines, you can see the end result in a live preview if we were to make that selection. So we'll click on 6 points. And then we've got shape effects as well. So we'll click on the shape effects where we've got shadows, all the stuff we saw in the previous lesson when we were working with images. So we can apply a shadow to this, a reflection if we wanted to. As we hover over these, you can see a live preview down below. Kind of neat. We've got glows as well. Kind of hard to see the preview when the glows are over the image. We've got soft edges, bevels. Here we can make it kind of a 3D looking shape. And then we got 3D rotations as well. So let's choose this one up here and see what that looks like. Very cool. We deselect by clicking outside the image here to see our finished product. So lots you can do with shapes. You can draw your own shapes. There's many to choose from, including lines and some basic shapes. All kinds of stuff to choose from. Once you've got them, then you can apply fills and different outlines and even shape effects.